Assalamu alaikum friends, I hope you are happy and enjoying your life. Our today's lecture is about The Old Man and the Sea, written by Ernest Hemingway. This is the first lecture and we are going to talk about plot of this novel. But before moving to the lecture, I would like to tell you what is plot. Plot is a term used to describe events that make up a story. These events are related to each other in sequence, and the structure of novel depends on the organization of events in the plot of the story. So let's move to our first slide. Let's have a look on these pictures. In the first picture, you can see that the old man is hunting a fish with his harpoon. And harpoon is this one. The third one is a boat, and you can see the important parts that are mentioned in the novel. The first one is the mast, and the second one is tiller. Here one. This one is the skiff, and that is tied with the taut line. The Old Man and the Sea is an epic. Epic is a long narrative poem which talks about heroic deeds and unparalleled bravery of a hero. The Old Man and the Sea is the story of a struggle between an old, seasoned fisherman and the great catch of his life, that is, the fish Marlin. About 84 days, Santiago, an aged Cuban fisherman, has to set out to sea and return empty handed. Manolin, his friend and devoted apprentice, has to leave him for fishing in more prosperous port according to his parents' order. Manolin has continued to help Santiago by bringing food, carrying his gear to his hut, and discussing the latest development in the American baseball, especially in the trials of the old man's hero, Joe DiMaggio. Although Santiago could not catch a fish for 84 days consecutively, but he is confident and resolves to sail out further than usual the following day. On the 85th day of unlucky streak, street means strain and stress, Santiago promised to sail his skiff. Skiff is a boat far beyond the island's shallow coastal waters to venture into the Gulf Stream, to venture, to go forward, to travel in the Gulf Stream. Santiago prepares his lines and has placed them 100 fathoms deep in the water. At noon, a big fish, which he knows is a marlin, takes the bait. He expertly hooks the fish but cannot pull it in, and the fish begins to pull the boat. When Santiago fished the marlin, eat the bait, he was unable to tie the line fast to the boat for fear the fish would snap or break a tight line. He bears the strain, or you can see the pain of the line with his shoulders, back, and hands, and ready to give slack or loose if the marlin runs. Fish pulls the boat all through the day, through the night, through the another day, and through another night. It swims steadily northwest until at last it tires and swims east with the current. The entire time Santiago endures constant pain from the fishing line. Whenever the fish lunges or take breaths, leaps or jumps or makes a dash for freedom, the cord, or you can say the rope, cuts him badly. Although wounded and weary, the old man feels a deep empathy, sympathy, and admiration are good feelings for the Marlin, his brother in suffering, strength, and resolve. On third day, the fish tires and Santiago, sleep deprived, itching, and nearly delirious, managed to pull the marlin in close enough to kill it with a harpoon thrust. Dead beside the skiff, the marlin is the largest Santiago has ever seen. After thrusting the marlin with harpoon, Santiago lashes it to his boat, raises the small mast, and sets sail for home. While Santiago is excited by the price that the marlin will bring at the market, he is more concerned that the people who will eat the fish are unworthy of its greatness. As Santiago sails on with the fish, the marlin's blood leaves a trail in the water and attracts sharks. The first to attack is a great mako shark, which Santiago manages to slay or kill violently with the harpoon. In the struggle, the old man loses the harpoon and length of valuable rope, which leaves him vulnerable to other sharks' attack. The old man tries his best to fight off the successive vicious, cruel predators as best he can. By stabbing at them with a crude spear he makes, by lashing a knife to an oar, and even clubbing or beating them with the boat's tiller. He kills sharks and continued fighting, but at night sharks devour the marlin's precious meat, leaving only skeleton, head, and tail. Santiago rebukes himself for going out too far and for sacrificing his great or worthy opponent, that is, the marlin fish. He arrives home before daybreak and falls back to his shack or hut and sleeps very deeply. And the next morning, when Santiago woke up, he saw a crowd of amazed fishermen gathered around the skeletal carcass of the fish, which is still lashed to the boat. Knowing nothing of the old man's struggle, tourists at a nearby cafe observe the remains of the giant marlin. Marlin, who has been worried sick over the old man's absence, is moved to tears when he finds Santiago safe in his bed. Marlin fetches coffee for Santiago and the daily paper with the baseball scores, and the old man sleeps. When the old man wakes up, the two agree to fish as partners once more. The old man returns to sleep and dreams his usual dreams of lion at play on the beaches of Africa. Let's recapitulate or summarize the important points from the plot. Santiago could not catch fish for 84 days. His devoted apprentice Manolin has to leave him, but he continued to look after him. On 85th day, Santiago rowed out of the harbour in the dark and deep water and set his bait under the 100 fathoms deep in the water. A fish, which is known as marlin, eat his bait, and war start between Santiago and the fish. Marlin's size was too long and difficult to pull in, but Santiago manages to bring it at the coast, although it was just carcass or skeleton because of the consecutive attack of the sharks. However, everyone was surprised to see such a giant marlin skeleton. The old man accepts his mistake of fishing far off water and losing his fish. He falls asleep and dreams of his favorite lines at the African coast. I hope you are clear about the plot of the novel The Old Man and the Sea. Please like, share and subscribe this channel for more information and videos about The Old Man and the Sea. This one is the first lecture and we are going to move forward to cover the novel completely. Thank you.